In today's video, we're going to be learning to paint the Rockeater from Tag Raid. I began this one with a blue base coat. The reason for that is with the green over the top, the blue acts as a really good shadow in the recesses rather than having a black. The blue contrasts very nicely with the green, creating a very colorful finish. We spray the green from above using the airbrush, and we give it quite a generous spray, but still leaving some of the blue. You can see here I kind of made a little mistake with the light green as I oversprayed initially. However, I just kind of kept spraying over until I could blend it back into the model. It was no real problem to fix. Now I'm just picking out areas and trying to highlight the areas that are going to be catching the light the most. I keep raising the lightness of the paint by mixing in ice yellow, so it becomes a little bit paler, but still holding quite a bit of contrast. I found it quite difficult to spray while holding the miniature, so I placed the miniature down and I started spraying freely, trying to control the brush as best as possible. I gave these little ports here, these little circles, an extra bit of spray, so they were extra bright. I wanted these to be emanating light, so this is just a way for me to get it as bright as possible for later when I'm going to be painting it a blue. With all the airbrushing done, we start working on the brushwork, and I wanted to start with a red. I really love this red. This is Sanctuary Red from the Nocturne Vallejo range. It has really nice coverage and it's a wonderful bright red. And I really wanted, with the pale green, a very strong bright red to contrast against it. Tried to take as much care as possible whilst placing all of the red. This was basically marking out all of the areas that I wanted. A different color from the green for the tag. Green was going to be the primary, but red was certainly going to take up a lot of the model as well. For the visor, I wanted to go for a kind of a turquoise to white shine, as if it was reflective glass. So initially I'm just placing a dark blue gray to mark out those areas. Plus there's other areas of the model that I wanted to emanate light, so I was marking those out with a dark blue gray as well. Here as well, for these little power lights on the back, I also wanted them to be shining a light blue, a bright blue, so we start off with the dark blue gray. For one more color to add to the model, we went for this violet purple. And again, we're just marking out all of the areas that we want for this. This was mostly for machinery and under armor. I started doing the highlights early for these ones, and we mixed in a little bit of white to create this kind of lighter pink, and that acts as a really nice highlight. As it was highlighted more, we added in a little bit more white, and it makes for a very, very nice pale reflection. It was then time to just edge highlight as much of the model. You'll see with the brush, I'm using the edge of the brush as much as possible, so I don't get anything elsewhere. It's really important to wick the brush so that it's quite dry on the brush, and you don't have any pooling or fluidity. You want it to be fairly dry so you don't make any errors and it doesn't bleed into anything. This way you can control the paint as best as possible. So now I'm going to be working on the reflective lens of the visor. So I'm using a lighter blue to just map out the areas of the reflections that I want. I then move up to this lighter blue, almost turquoise color, and we put that into the center of that reflection. This is then mixed with some white to get a very nice light blue turquoise. And this goes within the middle of that as well. So we're getting a slow blend between the lot. Now it doesn't blend so smoothly, so we're stippling between the transitions to smooth out those transitions as best as possible. And we keep on adding white until we get lighter and lighter reflections down the center. Continue with that stippling as well. It's also important to edge highlight as well, where the light's going to be catching the edge of the glass as much as possible to really sell the effect. Finally, getting a little bit of white and doing the very brightest reflection as well is really important. I now needed to highlight all of the reds, so I used a lighter red, a brighter red, not pale but still strong, and use that to just kind of highlight a lot of the areas of the red, make it a little bit more vibrant and make it pop a little bit more. Again, this red is Fire Flame from the Nocturna range. I wanted to create a kind of a hot effect on this cutter. And so I wanted to make it look like it was burning white, like almost yellow to white hot. So going from red, we're making transitions to orange to yellow. At the moment, the transitions are quite harsh, but we're just kind of placing all the colors in its place. Now we will mix the orange and the yellow to make the transition between, and just kind of place that in there as best as we can. And then the same with the orange and the red, and we make those transitions as smooth as possible. Finally, we mix in a little bit of white as well to just make it a bit brighter, and we edge highlight to show where there is heat and reflection. Finally, I'm adding some weathering to the model by just using this little piece of packing foam and just dabbing browns, grays, and oranges for mud, metal, and rust. And with that, the model is complete. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. We're trying something a little bit different. If you do like it, please leave a comment down below. And otherwise, like, comment, subscribe as usual. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.